So children, I am going to explain very important part about laws of chemical combination, and I will explain laws one by one. So first, first law is law of conservation. Law of conservation. And from the small classes, junior classes, that according to this, the matter can neither be created nor destroyed. Matter can neither be created nor destroyed, and the amount of reactants and substances formed after the reaction is found to be equal, is found to be same. For example, if you take this is limestone, calcium carbonate, and this calcium carbonate, it has here, I am writing it as 1 mole, and 1 mole atomic mass of calcium is 40, atomic mass of carbon is 12, and about oxygen it is 16 to 3 is equal to 48. So 1 mole here, it comes out to be how much? 100 gram. And when it is heated, on heating, there is formation of calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. It is simply the example of chemical decomposition or thermal decomposition. Here it is 1 mole, here it is 1 mole, and here it is 56 gram, and here it is 44 gram. Calcium 40, oxygen 16, so 56. Similarly here, so it is 44 gram. So here, if we join the two, we have here 100 gram. And so this justified law of conservation of mass. So these children take place. I have taken here very simple example. In all the cases, this is valid. In all the cases, this is valid, and what you can say that according to this law, the amount of substances, amount of reactants before reaction, and amount of products after reaction, they are found to be same, and so this justifies the law of conservation of mass. Now children, second is second law is law of constant composition. Law of constant composition, or law of definite proportion, or law of definite composition, or law of definite proportion. Now what it says. It says that when we take a compound from different sources, then irrespective of the source from where we have taken, the component of all the elements are found to be same. So what it says, according to this law, when we take a substance, substance, children, you can take compound, substance from different sources, then irrespective of the source, the ratio of different elements are found to be same. So see here once again, according to this law, when we take a substance, take a compound from different sources means the sources are different. Then irrespective of the source, irrespective means whatever be the source of the substance, the ratio means the composition of different elements is found to be same. So this is very much important to know that we can take any one compound, but the sources must be different, and so the ratio of an element is found to be same in all the conditions. Now children, this is very important part to note. I am taking very simple example, water. You can imagine our life without water. So what it means here, the ratio of hydrogen to oxygen is 2:1, and the different sources can be, we can have the lake, water can be taken from the lake. Similarly, water can be taken from the river, water can be taken from a spring, water can be taken from ocean, so it can be taken from the hand pump. So I have written here the 5 sources of water, and so in all the cases water will have how much? H2O. You know this thing from your lower classes. And so the ratio of the two elements, hydrogen and oxygen, it is found to be always 2:1. 2:1. And so this justifies law of constant composition. Irrespective of the source, whatever is the source of our substance, it is always found to be same. And so this justifies. Now, third law is law of definite proportion. Law of definite proportion. Definite proportion is there. This is the law, and we have a law of definite proportion. This is the second law, and then third is law of multiple proportion. So this we have first we have done, second we have done. Now coming to this third law of multiple proportion, children. So as indicates multiple. So first, as we see the statement. So according to this law, when we take a pair of compounds, means you take two compounds, but there is a condition. Pair of compounds made up of same type of elements. This is very important point. The elements must be same type of elements. Then at least one element bears multiple relation. So this is very simple. At least one element bears multiple relation or multiple proportion. At least one element, and this is valid in all the cases. all the cases that it is valid. So I am going to explain this law with example, and so take the case of H2O, water, and H2O2. This is hydrogen peroxide. This is hydrogen peroxide, and as a result, this is water, you know. Now see here, hydrogen is two parts. Here oxygen is one part. In this case, hydrogen is two part, oxygen is how much? It is two. Both are same. Also, we say, or we say 1:1 ratio. But say here, hydrogen is same in both the condition. Hydrogen is same. But what about oxygen? Here it is 1, here it is 2. So children, how we can justify that hydrogen in both the cases is 2:2 or 1:1, but oxygen is 1:2, and so this justifies. This is same, but here it is multiple, and so this is very important point to know. That so this is the justification. Now, children, fourth law is law of reciprocal proportion, but it is not in the course. Fourth, I have written, but it is law of reciprocal proportion, and so it is not in the syllabus.